All right, in this video, we're gonna show you the #1 dog killer and the tips and tricks to prevent your dog from dying from, guess what? These nasty sons of guns right here. Bufo toads, cane toads. Stay tuned, we're gonna tell you all about it. All right, so first thing to learn about these nasty toads, I'll go for this medium-sized one here, is that they are native originally to South America. They were imported into the United States and Australia to help combat, I guess it's like a cane beetle on sugar cane. They thought that these things would go into the fields and eat up all the cane beetles that were destroying the crops. Well, they found out a little too late that these don't even eat the cane beetles, #1, and #2, they have no known natural predator, meaning there is nothing to stop the spread of these. Crocodiles, this will kill a crocodile. Alligators, this will kill an alligator. But this point of this video is that this will kill your dog in no time flat. We're talking 60 to 90 minutes after encountering this toad, your dog will fall into a seizure and never come out of it. This is not a joke, this is not a game, this is not clickbait, this is real deal. In fact, we just finished a training session not too long ago with a basketball player, Josh Hart, with 2 of his amazing Rottweilers. Later that night, he let his dog out to go pee, as you might do. Late at night, it had been raining all day, on and off. Josh is not familiar to South Florida. He wasn't familiar with the cane toads and bufo toads, like many of you might not be. So he let his dog out to pee. A little bit later, brings the dog back in. Everything seems perfect, and he puts the dog up in the crate to sleep at night. Wakes up the next morning, the dog passed away. It passed away from getting in contact with the neurotoxin that you're about to see. What happens is your dog comes across this hiding in the grass, they put their mouth on it, they clamp down because they think it's like a tennis ball, they think this thing's awesome, and this toad right here will squirt venom into your dog's mouth. Let me show you what that looks like. I say venom, toxin, this is what it is. Oh, cameraman just got hit. Look at this nasty stuff. Look at that. It's like a pasty material, very sticky. And when that gets in your dog's mouth, within about 30 minutes, your dog's gonna show some really nasty signs. They're gonna start to have seizure-like symptoms. They're gonna foam at the mouth. Even prior to that, what you might see them do is, for sure, the foaming at the mouth, but you also might see them almost as if they have a bad taste in their mouth and they're trying to get it off. What would that look like? Like that, right? Maybe even pawing at their mouth. Maybe you see them drinking water. And you might say, well, Garrett, what happens when we see the dog go for the toad? Let's say you're lucky enough to catch your dog go for the toad, and it happens that quick. And that quick, you can see it just squirts that into their mouth. What you need to do is immediately get this venom, or as much as you can, out of their mouth. How do you do that? Well, #1, you want to get them to a hose and try to hose it out. Now, I know many of you, especially the veterinarians out there, are going to say be very careful of aspirating your dog with the hose. You don't want to drown your dog with the hose. You want to be very careful not to spray this down their throat. You can kill your dog just from that. So you want to be careful how you do it. You want to be shooting the water from left to right across their mouth. You want to have enough obedience in your dog so that they can stand still while you do that. But the other concern is this. Check this out. Look how, I'm going to try to wipe that off. You see how hard it is to wipe that off? And we picked a black shirt for a reason, so you can see the venom stand out, that toxin. It's very paste-like, it's almost like a glue. So the water is gonna help a little bit, but it's not gonna get all of it out. You really wanna get in there and scrape it out with your hands, with a paper towel, with a towel. You gotta get that toxin out of their mouth and watch them very closely. If not, start rolling towards the vet. Again, once this thing takes a hold, it's very likely, very, very likely, this will kill your dog. These things can kill any size dog, any breed, any age. These pack enough poison to kill dozens of dogs, just one of them. If you grow up in South Florida like I did, everybody knows somebody whose dog has passed away from one of these. The #1 dog killer in South Florida. And where else are these things located? They're in Georgia, Alabama, Louisiana, Missouri, possibly South Carolina, I think in Texas. They're also in South America, Central America, Australia. These kill crocodiles. Full-size crocodiles can't even eat these things because the neurotoxin will kill a crocodile, let alone your dog. They will also kill alligators. There is nothing that can eat these without dying. So really nasty boogers, and we're gonna talk a little bit more about how you can find them in your yard, how you can get rid of them, some of the steps you can take to prevent your dog from coming across these, and even more so, if they come across them, what you can do. So let's continue the conversation. We'll pull out one of the bigger ones just to show you. This is nothing. This is like, on a scale of 1 through 10, this is like a size 3 or a 4. They get monstrous. They get up to 9 inches long. So let me show you one that's a little more on the medium to larger size. In fact, we'll start with the little one. This, you see this little guy here? I don't even know, because I'm no toad expert, if this packs venom. You think it would, right? It's so small to get it to come out. We'll have to do some more research, but I'm quite sure this little guy, if it can't kill your dog, maybe not today, when it gets by the end of the season, this thing will be big enough to kill your dog, that's for sure. But look how many there are. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 toads. All of these were captured right here in my backyard. The small ones. So 11 of the small ones were captured right here, and they were all grouped up. These are all brothers and sisters, I'm assuming. The big ones, I don't have big ones in my yard because I take it upon myself. They call me the toad wrangler. I come out here at night and they don't survive. These things will absolutely murder your dogs, and I cannot have them hurting my dogs or any of my clients' dogs. So we make it a point when summer comes, when the rainy seasons come, and these things come out of hibernation, I'm gonna be the first one to come across them. The big ones I found across the street at my neighbor's house in the front yard after some heavy rain. They are everywhere in South Florida and the states that have them. They are absolutely an infestation. There is nothing that can kill the numbers, and they just continue to grow. Let's talk about where you can find them hiding in your yard. They like to burrow under, like in plants, roots. They like to hide, like, let's say, under your air conditioning, that little gap there. They will crawl under the foundation of your home, or maybe under a sidewalk, crawl spaces, crevices, anything that's dark, moist, damp, that's for them. So definitely around plants or anything that's going to hold that moisture, and it's very, very difficult to find them in the daytime. Very difficult. So you got to come out at night with a flashlight. Their eyes do glow a little bit, so you can scan, and if you see something kind of shining back at you, you may want to go investigate that. And let me show you how fast these things are. Let's do the big boy here. Look at this nasty son of a gun. Look at this thing. So what happens is, and they're camouflaged, especially at night, they're very hard to see. He's standing out because of the daytime and the grass is pretty short. At night, these are very tricky to come across, but what happens is your dog sees that, and that activates thousands upon thousands of years of prey drive. You know how your dog likes to chase after a tennis ball? This is a living, breathing tennis ball to them. They go, this thing is amazing. He's a super fast one. And so your dog will come over and very quickly, and that's the other thing, is they're so badass, like they know you can't kill them. Like, what are you gonna do to me? So they'll just let camouflage take over, and hopefully something passes over them. They're not gonna just keep running from your dog. Of course, this one is. And as soon as your dog puts its mouth on it, as soon as it does, let's see how much venom this guy has. We've already squeezed some out of him already. Check it out. As soon as your dog bites, look at all that already coming out just from the stress. And look at that. That's enough right there. Done. Excuse the sound effects, but this will kill your dog no time flat. So what you're going to need to do is you got to get them out of your yard. Now, it's actually illegal in Florida, and I'm sure other states, to capture these and re-release them into the wild. We only live like 400 yards away from the nearest canal, which feeds right into the Everglades. So I try to be nice to animals. The thought was, well, let me collect them out of my yard. They can go live their best life out in the Everglades. It's actually illegal to release these into the wild because they're so nasty, they're so invasive. What the state of Florida recommends is that you eradicate them, put them out of their misery, put them to sleep, get rid of them, kill them, let them swim with the fishes, whatever you want to call it. The way they recommend to do that is to put them into a Ziploc bag and stick them into your refrigerator, and it puts them into like a, what would you call that? Like a, they like to hibernate anyways for the winter, so it puts them in a type of hibernation into like a deep sleep. Then you put them in the freezer and you freeze them to death. It's the most humane way to do it. I don't do that. I shoot them. I shoot these bastards with a BB gun or whatever it takes. This will kill your dog. Not kind of, not maybe. This son of a gun here can kill a whole kennel full of dogs. So we're not going to play that game. I like to come out, do a little bit of toad wrangling. Look at that. Look at all that nastiness right there. Whatever it takes. I've heard that you can pour salt on them. I've also heard that you can just leave. Some of this is old wives' tale. Don't quote me on it, but I don't know anybody else talking about this. You can get a big coarse salt and put a pile of it, and supposedly they will come over and eat the salt, and then they're freaking out looking for water, and they will basically dehydrate themselves. Capture them by hand. Tongs are pretty good if you don't want to touch them. You can hire companies that will come out and help eradicate them for you. Notice I'm using gloves because this stuff supposedly will not be good for your skin, maybe get warts or whatever. So I'm gonna definitely wash my hands after this. We're gonna put him back. He can hang out with his buddies. This is death row right here. Hopefully we covered everything for you. Hopefully it was educational for you. Please check around your yard. Look around. If you're in one of those states that have one, if you're in a tropical type climate or subtropical or whatever this type of environment's called, where it's warm and hot during the summers and there's rain, you probably got bufo toads, cane toads, and if you got one, if you find one, there are dozens and dozens more that you're not seeing. They are everywhere. So be very careful. I promise you these things are nasty. They will kill your dog in no time flat. Thank you all very much for watching. Make sure to like, share, subscribe. If you're interested, stay tuned. We got some more stuff coming. In the next episode, we're gonna show you how you can proof your dog off of toads should they come upon one, all right? We're gonna show you how we do it. And don't forget, DIYcanine.com, we actually have our Unleashed course, which will show you how you can use the e-collar, the #1 tool to proof your dog off of toads, snakes, anything out there in the wild that can kill your dog in no time flat. I would rather use the e-collar, cause a little bit of discomfort so that the dog lives a beautiful life and never has to encounter one of these nasty toads and die a horrible death. Thank you again for watching. Make sure to like, share, subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.